Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the lecture series on Z transformation. So, in this lecture, we shall define what is the Z transformation, and we solve some Z transform problems for some standard sequences, and we define existence conditions for the Z transformation. So, first of all, let us define what is the Z transformation. So, in the area of digital signal processing in electrical engineering, we encounter sequences of discrete signals. If we represent a sequence in signal processing as Fn, then Fn equals to n times t, where n equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, is a non-negative integer, and t is called the sampling period. Therefore, the elements of the sequence Fn are functions of discrete non-negative integer value arguments. Such sequences are also encountered in many applications areas of digital filters. The operations of such discrete system is governed by difference equations. So one of the important tools for solving the difference equations is Z transforms. The Z transform of a sequence Fn can be defined as a functional transformation of sequences. So first we define what is the Z transformation. So let n be the set of natural numbers and Fn be the sequence with elements f0, f1, fn, and so on, be an infinite sequence where Fn equals to function of n, where n belongs to the set of natural numbers, is the general term of the sequence. We assume that Fn equals to 0 for n less than 0. It means sequence terms are 0 for negative value of n. The element of the sequence may be real or complex numbers. Therefore, Fn is a function of discrete integer valued arguments. The Z transformation of the sequence Fn is defined as Z transformation of Fn equals to summation n from 0 to infinite Fn upon Z ki power n. This can be written as summation n from 0 to infinite Fn times Z ki power minus n, and suppose this sum is represented by capital Fz, where mod of Z is greater than 1 upon R. So this is the standard definition for the Z transformation of a given sequence Fn. If your sequence is given by Fn, then its Z transformation is given by this infinite series sum, which is equals to capital Fz. And this series is convergent for this radius R. So right now here we know that Z may be any real number or complex number. So this is our standard definition. We have to remember this one. Now the Z transformation is a series in powers of 1 upon Z. You can see from here. This is series in powers of 1 upon Z. We may also call it a power series in terms of the variable 1 upon Z, and that is a Lorentz series expansion. You will study about this Lorentz series in the next semester. So here R is the radius of convergency of the series 1, and it can be determined by using this relation. R equals to limit n approaches to infinite mod of Fn upon Fn plus 1, where Fn is the coefficient of Z ki power n, Z ki power minus n. It means this Z Fn, it means given term, general term of the sequence Fn basically. If you are given general term of the sequence, then you can find the limit of the radius of convergency of the Z transformation. Like now the Z transformation Fz valid in the region of convergency and which is unique. Right? So in general, the inverse Z transformation of a sequence is not unique unless its region of convergence is specified. It means inverse Z transformation of a sequence is not unique. If we find inverse Z transformation in different regions, then we get different inverse Z transformation for the given Z transform. If the Z transformation of Fz of a given function is known analytically, the inverse Z transformation, which is given by this general term of the sequence Fn, which is represented by Z inverse of capital Fz, and can be computed using this contour integral fn equals to 1 upon 2 pi iota times. This is our contour integration fz z ki power n minus 1 dz. For the detailed study, you may go through any complex analysis book for the contour integration, where gamma is a closed contour surrounding the origin of the complex plane in the domain of analyticity of capital Fz. Now, let us discuss some standard sequences and their Z transformation. So, first example, let the F0 equals to 1, Fn equals to 0, for n equals to 1, 2. It means we are given a sequence whose first term is 1 and remaining terms are 0. Then the Z transformation of this sequence Fn equals to 1, because if you put the value of this Fn in the given definition, this one, because we are given F0 equals to 1 and remaining terms are 0. So for n equals to 0, we get 1 only. 1, and for the remaining values it is 0. So therefore the Z transformation of this sequence is 1. And the inverse Z transformation of this 1 equals to the general term of the sequence Fn, such that F0 equals to 1 and Fn equals to 0, for n equals to 1, 2, and so on. Right? Let us see second example. Let Fn equals to 1, for n equals to 0, 1, 2, 3. It means we are given a constant sequence. It means value of each term in the sequence is 1. Then this, by the definition of the Z transformation, we know that summation n from 0 to infinite, this Fn equals to 1 for all n, and which is multiplied by Z ki power minus n. Now, if we expand this series, then we get 1 plus 1 upon Z plus 1 upon Z square. And the summation of this series by using binomial theorem, which is equal to 1 upon 1 minus 1 upon Z. And if we simplify, then we get Z upon Z minus 1. So it means the Z transformation of the constant sequence 1 equals to Z upon Z minus 1. And the region of convergence is mod of Z is greater than 1. You can find this region of convergence by using this definition. All right. We are given Fn equals to 1. So therefore Fn plus 1 is also equals to 1. So R equals to 1 here. Like, and the inverse Z transformation of this Z transform is equals to 1. It means the Z transformation of this constant sequence 1 is equals to Z upon Z minus 1, and its inverse Z transform is equals to 1. So you have to remember this one. See, what is the Z transformation of the constant sequence 1, which is Z upon Z minus 1, and its inverse is equals to sequence itself, whose general term is 1. Let us see one more example. Let Fn equals to a key power n. It means we are given general term of the sequence, which is represented by a key power n, where a is any real or complex number. Then the Z transformation of a key power n, by the definition of this Z transformation, is given by summation n from 0 to infinite, a key power n Z key power minus n, which can be written as summation 0 to infinite a upon Z key power n, and by the application of the binomial theorem, which is 1 upon 1 minus a upon Z equals to Z upon Z minus a. It means Z transformation of a key power n equals to Z upon Z minus a. This can be verified. If you put a equals to 1, then we get the previous result, which is Z upon Z minus 1. So this is very important again. You have to remember. So what is the Z transformation of a key power n? Which is Z upon Z minus a. And the region of convergence you can easily find by using the formula, which is R equals to limit n approaches to infinite Fn upon n plus 1. And its radius of convergence is mod of Z is greater than a. And its inverse Z transformation is equals to general term of the sequence, which is a key power n. Now, if a is a negative real number, suppose this is minus p for p greater than 0, then the Z transformation of minus p key power n is equals to Z upon Z plus p. Right? So put simply a equals to minus p here, then you get Z upon Z plus p. And its inverse Z transformation is minus p key power n. So you have to remember this result again. Let us see fourth example. Let fn equals to a raised power minus n, where a is any real number or complex number. Then the z transformation of a key power minus n can be evaluated by using standard definition of this z transformation, and which is summation n from 0 to infinity 1 upon a z key power n, and its summation is given by 1 upon 1 minus 1 upon a z, which is equals to a z upon a z minus 1. All right, so this is our z transformation of the sequence a key power minus n, which is a z upon a z minus 1. And the region of convergency of this z transformation is mod of z is greater than 1 upon mod of a. You can calculate this by using the radius of convergency formula. And inverse z transformation of this equals to actual sequence, which is a raised power minus n. This result can also be obtained by replacing a by 1 upon a in the previous example 3. It means here a raised power minus n. So if we replace a by 1 upon a, then we get the required result, which is given by in example 4. Let us see example 5. Let fn equals to e raised power an, where a is any real number or a complex number. Then its z transformation is equals to summation n from 0 to infinity e raised power an times z key power minus n. This can also be written as e raised power a upon z key power n, and its summation by using binomial theorem is given by z upon z minus e key power a. So z transformation of this exponential functions sequence, e raised power an is given by z upon z minus e key power a, and its region of convergence is given by mod of z is greater than e key power a, and its inverse z transformation is given by this general term e raised power an. And this result can also be obtained by using the previous result a by e key power a in example 3. Let us see sixth example. Let fn equals to a key power n upon n factorial, where a is any real or complex number. Then the z transformation of a key power n upon n factorial is equals to summation n from 0 to infinity a key power n upon n factorial z key power minus n equals to e raised power a upon z. You can easily find this sum by using binomial theorem. And the region of convergency is mod of z is greater than 0. Right? So if your given sequence is of this form a raised power n upon n factorial, then its z transformation is e raised power a upon z, and its inverse z transformation is a key power n upon n factorial. For a equals to 1, we have z transformation of 1 upon n factorial equals to e key power 1 upon z, and its inverse z transformation is 1 upon n factorial. So you have to remember this result again. Let us see one more example. Let fn equals to e raised power a n upon n factorial, where a is any real or complex number. Then the z transformation of e raised power a n upon n factorial equals to summation 0 to infinity e raised power a n upon n factorial times z key power minus n, and its summation is given by e raised power a upon z, and its region of convergence is mod of z greater than 0, and its inverse z transformation is e raised power a n upon n factorial. This result can also be obtained by replacing a by e power a in the previous example 6. It means in this a is replaced by e k power a, then we get the required result of the z transformation. Let us see the inverse part of the z transformation. So find the inverse z transformation of fz, where capital Fz is given by z upon z plus 2, 3z upon 3z minus 1, e raised power minus 2 upon z, and e key power 1 upon 2z. So with the help of the previous examples 3, 4, 6, and 7, we obtained the z transformation. We obtained the inverse z transformation as follows. So we know that the z transformation of the constant sequence is equals to z upon z plus 2. This is the z transformation of the constant sequence minus 2 key power n. So inverse of this equals to minus 2 key power n. And this is the z transformation of the sequence 3 key power minus n. So this inverse is 3 key power minus n. This is the Z transformation of the sequence minus 2 raised power n upon n factorial. So its inverse is given by this one. And this is the Z transformation of the sequence 2 raised power minus n upon n factorial. So therefore, its inverse is this one. Right. Now let us define the existence conditions for the Z transformation. So let Fn be a sequence of exponential type. That is, there exists a number capital N greater than 0 and t naught greater than equals to 0 and n naught greater than equals to 0, such that each term of the sequence satisfy this condition, which is mod of Fn is less than capital N times exponential n t naught for n greater than equals to t naught. Right? So this is our exponential type sequences if this condition is satisfied. Now the existence theorem for the Z transformation. Every sequence Fn of exponential type has the Z transformation. It means if your sequence Fn is of exponential type, it means which satisfy this condition, then every sequence has a Z transformation. And this theorem is necessary and sufficient condition for the existence of Z transformation. Thank you for today, and in the next lecture we will continue with the Z transformation and some basic properties of Z transformation.